So I'm getting onto my table to lie down in an active rest session. I put my head on some books in order to keep the curve of my neck, and that allows the other curves of the back to be as normal as they can be as the muscles release. I put my feet on the flat on the surface of the table to allow the lower back to flatten so that it doesn't pull from the legs. I'm putting my hands on my belly so that my shoulders can widen and the shoulder blades can be on the table more flat. I'm thinking about my feet into the table, but not pressing them, just allowing the weight of the feet to sink into the table. I made sure that my feet are wide enough, just a little wider than where my legs join the torso, a little wider than my hips. And my pelvis is on the table. Today I'm having a little trouble not wanting to hold it away from the table. So I'm trying to let it just widen and sink into the table. Then I think my head away from the pelvis and my back is feeling a little caught. So I put my elbows down and allow my back to lengthen toward the head. And then I'm just going to lie here for a moment and think about the elbows on the table, my head on the books, my shoulders widening away from each other, my pelvis releasing into the table, and with that my lower back is releasing. My feet are still releasing into the table, but my knees are going up toward the ceiling, and I'm actively thinking about my knees lengthening the muscles of the thigh and of the calf so that those muscles lengthen as the knees feel like they're suspended from the ceiling. So I have the opposition of feeling like gravity is bringing me into the table, but the knees are suspended up away from the table. Once more, I'm going to free my neck and just allow the head to be on the books, and allow the shoulders to simply widen into the table. And all of this is slowing down my breathing so that I can think about exhaling and allowing the inhale to return on its own. Typically, we do this active rest session with eyes open because the idea with the Alexander technique is to be able to pay attention to the inside of the body and be aware and making good choices about what's happening with the length of my muscles and the release that's happening there, but at the same time, pay attention to what I'm doing in the real world. I have to say that when I start lying down, my eyes are often closed because I'm usually tired. And this gives me a chance to rest. And then when my eyes are ready, they simply open. And I can let the images come to my eye instead of reaching with the eye. And as I'm lying here, I'm realizing there's all sorts of busyness going on the right side of my pelvis, on the back side, because that's where muscles get fatigued for me. So I really have to allow that to release and allow it just to be on the table. So we call this active rest because even though it looks like I'm lying still, there's a lot going on in my mind as I become aware of what's going on with the body. And as I make choices about releasing muscles and not holding on to things as I'm lying here. And as I'm just quietly breathing, I'm noticing the air returning into my armpits and into the back. Feel free to lie here for a while yet, if you have time. 10 minutes is about the minimum to allow the spinal fluid to rehydrate the discs between the vertebrae. And of course, longer might be better. But just getting your back down for a few moments is better than not getting your back down. So when you're ready to get up, roll onto your side and push yourself off, and then go about the rest of your day.